All right, let's get right into it. When you're putting together a solar system, it's so easy to get caught up in the excitement of the big stuff, the panels, the batteries, right? But the one component that almost always gets overlooked? The wiring. And I'm telling you, if you get this part wrong, everything you just built becomes a massive fire risk.
Yeah, you heard that right. It's not usually the super expensive panels or the fancy batteries that are the first to fail. It's the simple cables and connectors. The parts that have to carry every single watt of power your system makes. If you mess this up, the results can be absolutely catastrophic. Now, if you've been looking around online, you've probably heard the same old advice, right? It's that kind of surface level stuff you see everywhere, and honestly, it's dangerously incomplete. So on one hand, you get the usual advice, oh, just use a thicker wire, or make sure you crimp your connectors. It all sounds pretty straightforward. But what that advice completely ignores is the real danger hiding underneath all of that. Hidden fire hazards, connectors literally melting down, and the whole system just failing on you. So let's get down to it. Let's talk about what actually goes wrong and why. We have to look at the huge safety gaps that this common knowledge leaves wide open, because this is what really separates a safe, reliable solar setup from a total disaster waiting to happen. And here's what's so wild. Each one of these points is a potential catastrophe. We're not talking about small problems here. We're talking about wires that are too thin and can just quietly catch on fire inside your walls, or miscalculating your power loss so your system barely works, or connectors failing and melting, and even just using the wrong type of wire that literally just crumbles after a year in the sun and rain. Each one is a critical point of failure. This right here, this shows you the whole domino effect perfectly. It all kicks off with one tiny mistake, a bad crimp on an MC4 connector. That single loose connection creates a point of high electrical resistance. Just think of it like a big traffic jam for electricity. And what happens in a traffic jam? Things get hot. That resistance generates heat, and that heat just keeps building and building until the plastic connector literally melts or just catches fire. So if we want to stop these failures, we really have to understand why they happen. And this isn't guesswork, it's just basic physics. Getting a handle on these fundamentals is really the only way you're going to build a system that is truly safe. It all begins right here with the power formula. Power equals voltage times current. This is so important because it tells you exactly how much current, that's the I, your wires have to be able to handle. And here's the kicker. If your system voltage is low, like in a 12-volt system, the current has to be way higher to get the same amount of power. And more current always means more heat. Okay, now let's talk about the big enemy of both efficiency and safety, voltage drop. Every single cable out there, I don't care how thick it is, has a little bit of electrical resistance. So when all that current you've got flows through it, you lose energy. And that lost energy turns directly into heat all along the wire. So why do we even care so much about losing a little bit of voltage? What's the big deal, right? Well, this question is the key to understanding the real-world impact on your system. And here is our answer. High voltage drop means your system is just throwing away power. Your panels are up there working their hearts out, but a good chunk of that energy is just turning into heat in the wires instead of actually charging your batteries. Over time, that's not just wasted energy, it's wasted money. And in the worst case, those cables can get so hot they become a serious fire hazard. So what's the magic number? Well, the industry standard, the number you should really be aiming for, is to keep your voltage drop under 3%. You might see some people say up to 5% is okay, but that should be your absolute max. 3%? That's the sweet spot for a system that's both efficient and safe. Okay, pay attention, because this is the single biggest mistake people make when they're calculating this stuff. They only measure the distance one way, from the panels to the controller. You have to use the round-trip distance. The electricity has to go there and come back. So if your panels are 10 meters away, your calculation length is 20 meters. If you forget that, your entire calculation is dangerously wrong. Okay, enough theory. Let's get practical. How do you actually pick the right parts to avoid all these headaches? This is all about getting you the knowledge you need to choose your hardware like a pro. So not all wires are the same, not even close. This chart makes it super clear. For any wiring that's going to be outside, you absolutely must use PV-rated cable. It's built for that environment. Using regular old household wire outdoors is a huge no-no. Its insulation just isn't made to handle sunlight, and it'll break down, crack, and fail, leaving you wide open to short circuits and fire. So what makes this PV cable so special? It's really all about its armor, the insulation. It's made to be UV resistant so the sun doesn't just cook it.
It's usually double insulated, giving you an extra layer of safety, and it's designed to handle huge temperature swings, rain, everything. It's not just the right choice, it's really the only safe choice.
This is a big one, a huge one. Never ever mix and match MC4 connectors from different brands. I know they might look identical, they might even seem to click together just fine, but the manufacturing tolerances inside are different. This creates a tiny, loose connection that can lead to electrical arcing. That's when electricity literally jumps across a gap, creating this intensely hot spark. In a DC system like this, that is a massive fire hazard. All right, we are almost at the finish line. You understand the risks, you've picked out the right gear. Now it's time to put it all together with the final checks that make sure your install is truly professional and, most importantly, safe.
Let's do a quick final checklist. Every single circuit needs to be protected by a fuse or a breaker. No exceptions. Route your cables so they're not rubbing against sharp edges. Secure them down so they don't vibrate and wear out over time. And go back and double check. Give every MC4 connector a little tug to make sure it's fully clicked and locked in place. I really want this to stick with you. Stop thinking of your cables as just some simple accessory. They are the literal bloodstream of your entire solar system. They carry all the energy, all the life. And if that bloodstream fails, the whole system fails. It's really that simple.
So, I'm going to leave you with this one question to really think about. After everything we just went over, take a good, honest look at your system, or the one you're planning. Are your cables a safe, solid lifeline, or are they a ticking time bomb? Because now you know exactly what to look for.